Nobody ever had to be a habit. Nobody ever had to be a habit. Nobody ever had to be a habit.
Hello. If you are watching this video, then I am assuming you have some interest in habit reversal, or more specifically, would like to reverse the habit of swearing. This may be your own habit, or it may be a habit in someone close to you. As a student of psychology, I recently learnt these few simple procedures to reduce a habit in myself that had gotten out of hand and that could lead to reduced social acceptance. The following procedures can also be applied to habits other than swearing. Habit reversal procedures have 4 components. 1. Awareness training. 2. Competing response training. 3. Social support. And 4. Motivational procedures. We will go through these components now. The first component is awareness training. So that the individual is aware of the habit you wish to reverse, and when it is occurring or about to occur, the bad habit needs to be defined. I knew I had several go-to words that cropped up quite frequently. So these were identified and defined as any verbal, audible utterance of each word, and I came up with 5 words I wanted to eliminate. The habit reversal procedure utilised self-monitoring, which is a type of direct observation in which the individual observes and records their own behaviour. Whilst I was at work, I captured each swear word in a spreadsheet and what came before it and immediately after it. When I wasn't at work, I captured each swear word on my smartphone and transferred it to the spreadsheet when I was later at work. Because behaviour is lawful, meaning that it always occurs as a function of what led up to it and what comes after it, the antecedents or precursors, and the consequences to be identified. A functional assessment would reveal the antecedents and consequences during a baseline period. In my case, more often than not, the antecedents to swearing were complaining in the office. Swear words often slipped out in spoken sentences, adding little value or emphasis to the meaning of the sentence. As to the consequences, my closest colleague at work also has a habit of swearing. So, whilst my habit wasn't being socially positively reinforced, it also wasn't being punished. Social positive reinforcement would entail something such as laughter. I reasoned that the antecedents rather than the consequences would be a more productive way of tackling this habit. As complaining was the antecedent to swearing, the main goal would be to cut down my complaining. However, for those complaints that were verbalised, reminding myself that this was a problem area for me made me be aware and made me aware of the words I was using. The next step in habit reversal procedure is competing response training. The individual needs to learn a competing response that is incompatible with the swearing. So I came up with some alternative words that all had similar starting sounds to the words I was trying to eliminate. The words chosen also had an element of the ridiculous. None of them would fit well into whatever sentence I was speaking, so it created a possibility for social positive reinforcement. The intention being, why not try to get a laugh rather than jeopardizing social acceptability? The words I came up with were Bloomberg, buffalo, darn, fish paste, and shiitake. These words were pasted around my home and workplace so that I became as familiar to them as the swear words. Incidentally, simply pasting them around my home and workplace wasn't enough, and I ended up needing to recite them at least 3 times a day to get familiar with them. Once I was about to complain, reciting the alternative words in my head helped me access them instead of the old swear words. In most cases, the words were so ridiculous that I opted not to use them either. Additionally, the self-monitoring functioned in a similar manner to competing response. knowing that every time a word was uttered, I had to open up the spreadsheet or smartphone and record it as another black mark acted as a deterrent. The third aspect of habit reversal is social support. This is when significant others are instructed to prompt the individual to use competing response when the habit occurs. This might involve praise as reinforcement every time the alternative behaviour is utilised instead of the problem behaviour. I shared my goals and my new words with my work colleague so that he could support the process. Practically speaking, he wasn't inclined to praise me for using one of the alternative words. However, he was happy to pull me up when I was complaining, which helped make me aware that I was in dangerous territory for swearing. The fourth and final component in habit reversal is motivation procedures. Reviewing the motivation strategy regularly increases the likelihood that the individual will use the competing response to control the habit. In coming up with this habit reversal procedure for swearing, I was forced to consider all of the potential embarrassment it could hold for my future and to consider the potential judgment I had opened myself up in the past by behaving in this way. Reviewing this and reminding myself of it frequently throughout the treatment helped me to stick to reciting the alternative words to cease the complaining until the swearing habit was largely eliminated. So there you have it, 4 simple components to reverse any habit. To recap, first, awareness training, in which the client is asked to describe and define a habit and when it is occurring. Competing response training, in which an incompatible alternative behaviour is implemented. And then social support and motivational procedures are implemented to support the process. I use this method to reduce my bad habit of swearing. So best of luck to you in how you choose to apply it, and thank you for watching.